You Talk family, what go on? What go on? This your boy D, and E'll be joining the show real soon with another live show with You Talk. And y'all know how we start off every show. It ain't no us. Without you, baby. Kane Nation, what's going on? What's going on? Happy Friday to everybody, man. We're going to talk about some things tonight, man. We're going to have us a good show, have some fun. Hope everybody had a good week. And we're going to get into it tonight. So y'all know how we start off every show. Y'all know who get the first shout out of the night. No other than the man him there, Mr. King Judge.
KJ Production in the building.
King Judge, what it do, big dog? What's going on, King Judge? Let's get into the birthdays, man. I want to send a special happy birthday to my little brother back in Florida. Shout out to Florida, Tampa, Florida. I want to give a shout out to my little brother, Leroy English. What's going on? Happy birthday, little bro. I love you, man. Hope you enjoy your day tomorrow, man. Happy birthday, big dog. Shout out and happy birthday to the big dog, my boy, Shantino Kemp. Happy birthday, big dog. Greg Ryder, Claude Howard Jr., Jimmy Wargo, and Jimmy Marr. On behalf of You Talking Kane Nation, we want to say happy birthday to all of you guys. Happy birthday. Let's give a shout out to these businesses. Shout out to Tanya and Teddy Chisholm over at Catan's Fashion. Matt Hollow over at Plum Life. Chris Flanagan over at Avalon. Shanika Pendergrass over at Herb Velocity. Joe Neville, Terry, and Hollis Watts over at Rushbox. Shout out to Jacinta Kirkland over at Sugar Coated Cupcakes and Sweets LLC. And shout out to the big dog Bobby Sarah over at Mentor Me. Down there in Miami, Florida, representing like he do. And shout out to Jesse Lambert over at Naturally Balm. Shout out to the lovely ladies over at PNC Bank. Miss Crystal Barcliff and Katie Levant, what's going on? Shout out to my player partner, Leroy Van over at Smile Studio Orthodontics. That's my brother, man. What's going on, Leroy Van? Shout out to Leroy Van over at Smile Studio Orthodontics. And shout out to the big dog that be bringing you guys all of the You Talk merchandise. I want to say thank you again when you get a minute. Please go over to the website. There it is on the screen, man. YouTalkSportsShow.com, where you can check out. If you missed the show, man, we had a playback of the show, the audio over on the podcast, man, where you got the You Talk merchandise. I can't thank you guys enough for supporting me, man, and buying the merchandise. Thank you so much. So go over and check out the website when you get a minute. And I ask that if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to You Talk, man. Hit that like button, that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Shout out to Marquez Williams, man, one of our former alumni, man. Marquez Williams, man. Check him out over on popsocks.com, where he's selling all of the crazy, wacky, off-the-wall socks. Check him out over there at popsocks.com. The music you're going to be hearing tonight is no other than Young and the Boy, co-star and TP, The Prophet. Shout out to Adrian Braswell for the artwork. And shout out to my player partner, E. Gray. Like I said, he going to be coming into the show real soon. Shout out to my boy, E. Gray. What it do, E. Gray? Shout out to Aaron Usher and Michael Dorr. Davis Lowe, Bodine Francis, Latrell Stoudemire, Dan Frazier, Justin Cone, April Clark Ransford. What's up, girl? Corey, Liberty City Boy, Brandon Mays. What it do? Kenneth Cleveland, I see you down there for leader, Reggie Knight. What's going on? Eric Meyer, what it do? Jerry Gunsky. Ricky Dunn out there in North Carolina, what it do? Adrian Riley, what's going on? Michael Dorn, that's my dog. What's up, Michael Dorn and Jeremy Wood? Let's get into the You Talk. Shout outs tonight. It's a Friday night, man. You want You Talk.
It's You Talk, baby.
Let's get to it. Shout out to Jamal Davis, Benny, and Kimbo Lee Barrett. Shout out to Cyrus Sumter, Tremaine Daniels, Vinny Sop, Chad Lewis, Hiram Williams, LaTroy Hillary, Jimmy Brown, Steve Watson, Brittany and Kevin, Eric Brown. That's some of the U alumni right there. Kenny Kelly, Tamika and LaVar Scott, Milo Stinson, Chris Otis, Felix Miller, Eric and Susie Connor, Donald Gordon, Todd, Randy Pamal, John J.T. Thomas, Otis Ford, Earl Collins, Deion Washington, Carisha Williams, Cara Strong, Gail English, Robert Uncle Buck Brown, Eddie and George Lord, Cedric, Rika, Chuck, Tay, say what it do, James, Pop Jones. What's up, Pop? Shout out to Corey Taylor, Kevin Taylor, Gerald, Big Baller, Hawkins. Shout out to Tony Adams. Shout out to Tony and Emmanuel Vasquez. Jamal Boot Stevenson down there in Orlando, Florida. Boot, what up, boy? Shout out to Darren Lord, Danielle Carroll, Quest, a.k.a. The Diesel Brown, Tim Jordan, Kevin Glenn, Mike and Jeff Caldwell, Tariq Brooks, Shane Cronin, Jose Martinez, David Avila, Troy Wood, Toya Cook, Milton Scoop Austin, Eric B. Tate, Sean Po'boy Pugh, Ronnie LeBou, Leonard Geechee Evans, Terry Well, Sheldon Curl, Johnny White, Donald Strange, Justin Williams, Merle Robinson, Jason Massey, Brian Big B. Wheaton, Justin J. Berg Jackson, LD down there in Mohaven, Florida. What's up, LD? Shout out to Joe Carter, BJ Pence, Diana and Lisa. Q, Cecil, Willie, Johnny, and Tyrone Perry. What's going on, big dog? Them the OGs. Mario Beltran, what it do? Larry Elbone Griffin, Brian Maycock, Madonna, Jamila, Latoya, Susan Q. Jackson, James Curtis Jackson, a.k.a. Pookie, Reggie and Jamal Weddington, Ray Shaw Evans, Wayne Foster, Douglas Ferguson, Gwen and Norris Gordon, Frank Hilton, a.k.a. Frankie Needles, Demetrius Jeep Gray, Marvin V. Lawton, LaTuan Ferguson, James Edward Leach, Percy Hicks, Brian Storms, Jamari Yon Davis, Jaquarius Weathers, Lynn Reginald, and Rope Base. Corey Allen, what's going on? Annette and Sherry Lewis, Jeffrey O'Neill, Chipley, Florida in the building. Drina and Travis Colvin, Deep Breezy, Ernestine Fleming, Cheetah McCullough, John Green, April Clark Ransford, Beverly, Kuzak, Reggie Hurd, Samuel Kennedy, Eric Myrick, Larry Frank Jr. will be on in the 8:30 hour, man. He's going to be talking up about the U-Talk, the U-Take. That's what we call it, the U-Take, man, with Larry Frank Jr., man, at 8:30. That was the U-Talk family. Let's go over to the North, Georgia Canes chapter in Canton, Georgia. Shout out to Kevin Restra, Joseph Virgo, Henry Cowsey, Laverne Rowe, Kiki Diaz, what's up, girl? Nick McClure, Renee Alvarez, Cedric Catman Smith, Kyle Gray, Richard Watts, and Alex J. Flores. Now let's get to my team, Kane. Shout out to Miami Flow, a.k.a. Kane Up, Concrete 1K down there in Tampa, Florida. What it do? The Canes blog, John, what's going on, big dog? And let's get to the last group of the night, the Truth Miami Hurricanes. Shout out to Rab Blanco, Bruce Daniels, Malcolm E. Simmons, and the big dog, our guy, your guy, Larry White Jr. It's U-Talk, baby. Let's go.
It's U-Talk, baby.
Let me bring my boy in, man, Mr. E. Great, man. He going to be coming in pretty soon. Hey, Josh Ayers, I see you, boy. What's going on? Troy Woodard, cousin, Lakeland, Florida in the building, man. That's my cousin. They go to South Carolina, Columbia. You're done right there, man. I call him E. Yeah, but they call him Air Breezy out there in Columbia, South Carolina. That's what they call him out there. So he just joined the show, man. Shout out to Jeffrey O'Neill, man. The LeBron James fanboy is in the building. E. Gray, talk to him, man.
What up, baby?
What's going on, man? Bring it on in, man. Do your shout-outs, man. Everybody want to hear from you, man. Shoot, buddy.
Man, shout out to, my UK family, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy D. Bailey, Donovan Bailey, what up, though? Shout out to my boy Lafayette Cole, what up, homie? Shout out to Brian, and shout out to my boy Chris, Hurricane Chris. They're my guys, you know what to do.
That's what's up, man. And shout out to Just Saying Sports, man. He repped that real good, man. So he going to have some takes for us, man, tomorrow, man. We've been missing that, man. So we'll be looking forward to your picks for the weekend, big dog. Benny Bear, Boosie.
Wild thoughts for the wild card weekend. That'll be coming out tomorrow. Early tomorrow.
Early tomorrow's coming out, man. Benny Bear, what's going on, boy? You know, it's touch back down in the A. What's good, man? Hey, y'all, we're going to get into it tonight, man. Like I say, Larry Frank coming up in the 8:30 hour. We're going to ask that when you call in to keep your calls at 3 minutes. I'm not trying to be rude tonight, man, but I got to hold you to 3 minutes tonight, man. We're going to be moving through tonight, man. So, E-Great, man, your thoughts on the first topic of the night. We got another transfer, E-Great, and I'm just curious to know what you think about this, E-Great, Mr. Charleston Rambo from Oklahoma.
Hey, Rambo gonna start immediately.
Immediately.
He's gonna start immediately. And just like me and you was talking, I like to see him lined up with what's the boy, the young boy?
Keyshawn Smith.
Yep, Smith and whatever little slot wide receiver who want to throw in there that can actually catch the damn ball. But you know, that's a good look, man. That's a good look. I think he's gonna bring a lot. You know what I mean? And I saw where a lot of people was hating on Tate Martell when he said he was coming back.
Wow.
Look, man, like I told you, depth is everything.
We need bodies. We need bodies, bro. We need bodies.
Like you said, man, with this crazy situation with COVID, and COVID ain't going nowhere. It's still going to be around. And, you know, come football season, never know how things go. And we need depth. We need depth. You know, he might not see the field too often or whatever, but we need depth, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully De'Aaron can come back healthy from that knee and look like he already rehabbing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Had a successful surgery. So we just need depth, man. Bodies, more bodies, dog. You know, I'm glad Severa came back.
Yep.
I'm glad Bubba Bolden came back. You know, at least they had some sense and they know they wasn't going to get drafted high. But, you know, they need to come back, man. Hopefully next year they have a good year and they be first-round draft picks, bro.
Man, hey, man, Benny just said some Cuban Kane in the chat. My bad, Cuban Kane. Cuban Kane, can't call. COVID got you. Oh, man, speedy recovery, brother. Hey, man, y'all wish Cuban Kane well, man.
Hey, man, Cuban Kane, get well, brother. Get well.
Get well, brother. We praying for you, man. Love you, bro. That's our U-Talk family member, y'all. Y'all wish him well, man. We praying for you, Cuban Kane. But most definitely, E, I totally agree with you. I see that John Ford came back, Mike Harley coming back.
Yep,
totally
Mike
agree
Harley,
with
yep.
you. We need all of the bodies that we can. I'm definitely glad that Mike Harley came back, E. I was hoping that he came back.
And, you know, it's something to think about with them boys coming back. It brings veteranship to the team, man. You got to remember, last couple of years, we've been so young other than the transfer portal. You know what I'm saying? The transfer portal is what had us with a few veterans. But, you know, we need them young guys to stay and step in and step up. Cam Harris came back, coming back. You know what I'm saying? That's more depth at the running back position.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, people say crowded backfield. Ain't no such thing.
Ain't no such thing as a crowded nothing.
Get the job.
Right.
Best man gonna get the touches.
Right.
So, you know, I love it, man. Competition is everything.
Most definitely.
If we don't have competition at them positions, we ain't what we are. We ain't the U. U was built on that, man. We was built on competition.
Most definitely. I agree with you 100%. Hey, Josh Ayers, I see you. We finna get to the coaching and everything, man, real soon. We finna get to it. I see you, Josh. We finna get right into it, man. I got one more question for you, E, man. What do you think about the boy that just went into the transport portal from Georgia, Tyreek Stevenson, the quarterback? He actually was a prospect of ours, man, I think like a year ago, but he ended up choosing Georgia over us, man. What do you think, man? You think we got a shot at getting him?
I don't know. I haven't really heard much about that. But it wouldn't hurt. I mean, like I say, more bodies.
Definitely a position that need, a position needed.
See us, as far as with the transfer portal, I like to see us get another cornerback. Defensive back. Right.
You know, he's a corner, and he's a corner.
If we can get a corner. I know we were looking at somebody. I can't remember what school, but we were looking at somebody. If we can pull out a defensive back, another corner out of that transfer portal, that would help.
Either that or some line. Well, we need a linebacker too. We need an experienced linebacker too, because I've been waiting on Sam Brooks to take the next step, man. But I don't know, man. It ain't no speed in that linebacker. In that linebacker group neither, man. We can definitely take another grad transfer or older guy in that linebacker group as well. But now,
absolutely.
You know, let's get into it, man. We're gonna talk about these coaches real quick, man. E. Gray, thoughts on?
You know, you've been itching to talk about this, but I told you. Didn't I tell you?
You did. E. Gray and Larry Frank called it, man. Y'all know I was campaigning for Blake Baker to get the hell on, and he's not. They retained him for whatever reason. You know, you got some of the geniuses, Miami Hurricane fans, saying that it was contractual and we couldn't get rid of him because yada, yada, yada. I still don't see that, man. You got rid of Dan Enos after a year. I still don't see if Manny Diaz is going to be calling plays, what the hell the difference is, what you need him for. That's just me. I would say, you know, give T-Rod, E. Gray, put him as the defensive coordinator and let him be the trainee in. He's already had experience at being the defensive coordinator, but just put him there and let him be ready to take over. That's all I was saying. But Blake Baker is here. He's going to be here for another year. So, Manny, you can't deflect no blame on anybody else now. You calling the plays, and we want to see productivity out of this defense, man. That's my thing on the E-Gray. That's me.
Hey, man, but like I said, maybe it was Banda. I don't know. Maybe it was Banda. I don't know. But, Manny coming out, and protecting his boy, not saying he going to call the defense and all of that stuff. Look, I just want to see improvement. I don't give a shit who calls it. Manny, if you feel like that's what's going to get us over the hump, you need to call the shit. Because evidently whatever we was calling last year was not working.
Right.
It was not working.
Right. I totally agree. It
was not working, man.
Let me catch this. Hold on, East. Hold that thought real quick. I ain't mean to cut you off, brother. Let me read this from Josh Ayers real quick. I have an idea for linebacker Amari Carter. Have him add 15. Josh, I've been saying this for the last 2 years with Amari Carter. He's more physical. He plays like a linebacker. Maybe you can put him in the box, man. And like I said, he's already playing out of position to me, E. That's a good idea. Put him at linebacker, E. Put 15 more pounds on him and put him at linebacker. He already like the physicality. Put him in there. He like to be physical. Put him in there at linebacker. I think that'll be a good fit. What you think about that? Amari Carter going from safety to linebacker.
That'll be the speed that you're looking for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That'll definitely be that. But are we going to scrap the 4.25, this striker shit?
I don't want to. I don't want to, E. I don't. Tell me why you don't like the 4.25.
I mean, because we act like we don't know how to operate out of the 4.25 a lot of times, man, when we playing certain teams. When we blitzing out of that package with the striker or whoever, they act like they don't know how to time blitzes. They always offsides and then they exposing it too early. I don't know, man. The thing about it with me is that if hopefully we get a better pass rush this year, because a lot of times if you don't have those ends that can create that pass rush, you're gonna have to call some exotic blitzes. But we showed last year we don't know how to do that. We don't know how to run exotic blitzes. We give it away too early. It's nothing sneaky about it, and we never get to the quarterback. Barely ever get to the quarterback in that manner.
I can see what you said. The only reason why I say I would want to stay in the 4.25 is because when we play those teams that spread us out, again, we don't have great speed at linebacker, and I think that we need an extra speed defender in there to help cover some of those wide receivers when they go spread. That's the only reason why.
But it ain't really nothing but the only thing about a 4.25 is just you shifting. You can shift to a nickel. That's all it is.
Right, and
you're shifting over to a nickel when we play those teams that spread us out. And I get it, but it hurts us against teams like North Carolina that ran it down our goddamn throat.
See, I think you got to have the right striker at that position. I think you got to have the right striker. See, I like when what his name was, Romeo Finley. I thought that he was good against the run and he could play the pass. He was fast too.
Well, okay, so here's my thing. No adjustments were made at all during the season, certain games. That 4.25, that shit was not working against North Carolina. They didn't make any adjustments. You put another goddamn linebacker in it, you got to go 4.3. You have to. The way they was just running it down our damn throat.
But again, it's like you say.
Our linebackers wasn't that good.
Right.
Wasn't making plays, out of position and all of that shit. But damn, man. I mean, neither was the damn striker or whatever. And the DBs were not tackling,
What about being lined up off a position? You think that if we still would have had a linebacker in there, you think that would have made a difference? Because I don't think so. But I get what you're saying, though. I just think that they was going to run up and down the field on us that game, regardless on whether we was in a 4.3 or a 4.25.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's a question, though. Who's going to step up and be that alpha linebacker?
We've been waiting on Sam Brooks, E. Man, you've been waiting on. I mean, I still ain't even. I hear how great Avery Huff is, and why can't he get on the field, though, E? Why can't he get on the field? They saying that he's supposed to be the best linebacker that we got. He's doing as far as athleticism. He's supposed to be the dude, but I haven't seen him yet in the middle of the play just to get on field on defense, to stay on defense. I've seen him on special teams, and I'm just waiting to see what's up with him. I don't know. I can't answer that, bro. I would say Sam Brooks, but it seems like he hasn't caught up yet neither.
Yeah. He has some hiccups, and maybe we can throw that out to being young, but now it's no more excuses with majority of them coming back. But one good thing about it, we do have, and maybe Bubba Bolden will step up as being the alpha as the safety, calling that back end.
I hope so.
And hopefully he gets some tutelage from Ed Reed of how to be that alpha and how to call it out. Because you gotta have a quarterback in that defense, back in that back end on the defensive side, and you gotta have a quarterback at that linebacker position. This, you know what I'm saying?
Almost definitely.
Being the alpha and calling everything out.
Right.
As much as we give shit to the coaches, as far as scheme and everything, at the end of the day, it's the players on the field is how to react, counter-react to certain things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just common sense, football IQ. Exactly.
It's football IQ, and I know that ever since Ed Reed there, I know he's in the film room with them, showing them what the fuck they need to be looking at.
Right.
So, it's just certain things is going to have to change, and maybe it does. And I know somebody asked me what I think about Manny calling the defense. Hey, that's what he does. That's what Manny's a defensive guy. And another good thing is going on the other side of the ball. As much stuff that I gave, with Rhett Lashley last year with a few games here and there, it does help that this will be the second full year under this offensive scheme. It's a new scheme. You know what I'm saying? It was a new offensive scheme, and for the most part, we did okay.
Yeah, and
now these guys, the linemen know the scheme, the playbook. Like everybody else, all your playmakers, your running backs and wide receivers, everybody know it. Hopefully, De'Aaron King comes back at full strength, and I want to see us just be dominant. I want us to come out and just dominate. Like I said a long time ago, I know some people gonna give me hell when I bring up the Atlanta Falcons, but what I mean by that is that the year that the Atlanta Falcons went to the Super Bowl, the defense wasn't that good, but it kind of got disguised a little bit because how efficient the offense was. When your offense is that good and you moving up and down the field and putting points on the board every time, every possession, it affects the other side of the ball, because the other team's offense is like, oh shit, if we don't score, we're in trouble. And it gets them out of their game. They got to start doing stuff that puts them in an uncomfortable position.
Right.
And so they're trying things that they normally wouldn't try.
Hold on.
It kind of helps our defense out.
Hold on real quick. We got a caller. Yo, caller, hold on real quick. But to your point, though, E, the offense was better. The offense was better because, look at it. Last year, we was averaging 27 points a game. This year, we was averaging 34 points a game. Even on third down, we got better on third down. On third down last year, we was 27%. This year, we was 40. So the offense did get better, man. And like you say, man, it'll be their second year in the season. The second year with the offense, man.
Scheme, man.
Yes, sir. And it should get better, man, with the same players in the system. Hey, caller, state your name and where you're calling from.
Jamal Davis, they from Fall, Florida.
Jamal Davis, that's my player partner, my best friend, Jamal Davis. I got to keep you under 3 minutes tonight. Jamal Davis, what's going on, big dog? Talk to me and E.
What the deal? Hey, I want to know from you and E, is the quarterback position going to be like an open competition this year?
I'm going to let you go first, E.
No, I don't see it. It just depends on what it is. The back end of it will be open competition between TBD and Garcia, maybe. But if De'Aaron King is healthy, he's going to be the starter.
Now,
That's just what it is. He's going to be the starter as long as that knee is good to go and he's healthy. That back end with the second string, that's going to be open competition.
Now, see, with me, I think that it's De'Aaron King's job to lose. Like he said, I don't think that he's going to be – I hope that he's 100% when the season starts and that knee is ready to go. I don't think he will be, but I still think that he should be.
Man. It's technology. The technology, man, you seeing cats come back from Achilles injury.
I hope so. I hope he come back.
It's
y'all
amazing.
Tell me this. Do you think the coach is going to take that COVID year and come back?
And coach is in the transfer portal. He's transferring.
I didn't know he was transferring.
Yeah, he's transferring.
And you know what? And that's why I told you earlier, D, when we spoke, that I didn't mind Tate Martell coming back because we're losing the Kosei. And that brings us another body in that quarterback room.
Most definitely.
Giving us a legit 4 scholarship quarterback.
Most definitely. And Jamal, with it being the COVID year, like we were saying, You know, we need all of every team need all of the bodies that they can get because you just never know. You never know what might happen, man. You know, some guys may have COVID 1 week, man. You may be down 2 quarterbacks. So, you know, I mean, we're just saying more bodies, the better at every position for every team in the nation, actually. You know?
Right about that. Well, that's the only thing I wanted to know, man, was y'all going to have open competition at the quarterback position. I'll hang up and listen to y'all on the line, man.
All right, brother. Hey, you drive that truck safe, man. Keep trucking.
All right.
All right, bro.
All right.
Later. Yeah, I mean, I just think it should be De'Aaron King's job to lose. Josh Ayers, I see you too. Word is defense would be more man-to-man than zone. I think Miami ran zone 60%, 67% in 2020, where in 17 to 18, it was more 60, 70 man. And I like to play man. That's my whole thing, Josh. I think that they need to play man because I want to be able to blitz more. When you playing zone, you playing soft. And I hope, I seen that, Josh, to where they said T-Rod is going to want to play a lot more physical at the line, at the point of attack, playing bump and run. And, you know, without, you know, all of this 10 and 15 yards off the ball, most definitely come up and play press coverage, man. I mean, we was basically giving guys third downs last year, man. Just giving them third downs on 3rd and 4 because we want to play 10 yards off the ball.
Playing too much cushion, man. Too much cushion. And it's like, you know, and they made the adjustment, well, I don't even call it making adjustments. Games that they shouldn't have been given cushion, they were given cushion. Games they should have been given cushion, they getting beat man-to-man. And getting no safety help in the corners, just getting dogged. And what you hear, poor technique, this and that, third, blah, blah, blah. You know.
Thoughts? What's your thoughts on Demarcus Van Dyke being promoted to the cornerbacks coach?
Well, look, you know, little home favorite, man, you know, alumni favorite. But like I told you, I won't read too much into it because I think T-Rob still will have a lot of influence, even though they promoted Demarcus Van Dyke as far as with a label.
Right.
But I think that they brought in T-Rob for a reason.
Okay. What's your thoughts on Jess Simpson, man, coming back as the defensive line coach, been going to you guys for a year, but I guess that didn't work out, but they fired your regime, man. He's back coaching the defensive lineman. What thoughts on that?
I think that's a good thing. One thing about him, if you look at it, back when he was in control of that defensive line, we didn't give much up the middle. If you go back to when he was in charge of it, we didn't give up much up the middle, not running up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe we wasn't getting to the quarterback as good.
But we were stout against the run, though. You're right.
But we were stout against the run. And, you know, that's the main thing, and that's something that I can live with.
Mm-hmm.
But you getting gashed. You know, you play in certain teams, like, you know, we're going to have to see North Carolina. We're going to have to see certain teams that love to run the ball, man. You just can't continuously get gashed, man. Cannot get gashed up the middle. And hell, they gashed us on the outside, up the middle, every damn way.
Right. Most important coach get. Which one was the most important that we needed, man? I'm gonna go ahead and say T-Rob. You?
T-Rob was a good hire. T-Rob definitely was a good hire, and that's why I won't read into too much with that as far as with the DVD thing. But yeah, that was a good hire. And bringing Simpson back is good too, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm really seeing some promising moves. You know, it's got to all play out on the field, but you know, I'm just happy that we're going to have some veteranship, you know, in there where we were wet behind the ears so many years. You know what I'm saying? And we finally got some guys that got some games up under their belt, man. You look back at the offense, man, all the running backs, with the exception of Cam Harrison, he's not that old. Man, we were running 2 freshmen out there behind Cam Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked good at times.
Right.
You know, especially that boy Chaney, man. Chaney. But if Red Lashley put it together, boy, we're going to be a problem all.
We got the caller coming in, man. Right now, coming on the line, man, is our guy, me and E-Boy, man. Coming to give you the U-Take, his U-Take for the week, man. It's our guy, man. Louisiana's finest, man. We know him as Larry Frank Jr. What's going on, big dog?
What's up, fellas? What's going on? Look, before we get started.
Frank Jr.
E great. What's up, my brother? Brother D, how y'all doing?
I'm Gucci, big dog. How you?
sir. Everything's everything, my brother.
Well, let me tell you something. It's been what, 5 days? I done got all them tears and got my crying done since Sunday night with Cleveland. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I'm
Kareem
good.
Hunt just
I'm
scored
good.
one time.
Bro, that was just so dirty, bro. Like, man, it. Whew,
It was ugly.
Lord have mercy. It was ugly.
It was
But
ugly.
let's talk Miami, bro. I'll get back on Pittsburgh next year in preseason.
It's on you.
Where y'all want to start, man? Where you want to start? I mean, you know, hey, all right. This is where I want to start right here. And D, when the news broke yesterday, I had to text you, man. And
You and E. You and E. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm like, yo, I need to go ahead on and get these Mega Millions and Powerball numbers because I didn't think it was gonna fall exactly how I said, so many dominoes. But I'm glad. First and foremost, I'm gonna start off with the T-Rob hire. I'm glad that it happened. I'm glad T-Rob is in there as the secondary coach. And like we said a couple of weeks ago on the last show, I truly believe fundamentals was lacking with this team and this defensive scheme. And that's why you saw so many yards given up and just our boys getting gashed. I think the T-Rob hire is a good one because you're going to now see these guys, at least the secondary, getting coached up, fundamentals down pat. And on top of that, you're going to be able to start bringing in a steady rotation of good guys, good players at those positions, at those safety and corner positions. And what I like about it as well, with the recruiting factor, you have, as far as from the secondary aspect, you have T-Rob, who is a dynamite recruiter, DVD, who has been a solid recruiter, and people keep forgetting you still got Ed Reed up in there too.
And Mike Rump. Because did they move him? They gave him a recruiting role too, right?
Yeah, they kept him on staff in the recruiting department. So I'm glad for him too, because you know what? It wasn't working out for him on the field, and he gets to still be a Cane. I mean, you know, anytime a Cane gets fired, a former Cane that's on staff gets fired, it's hard, you know, because it's hard to badmouth him, because deep down inside, just like with Randy Shannon, you know, you got to give Randy Shannon props for what he wanted to do. It just didn't work out, and you just hate to see a former Cane get fired. So, but you put all of those factors together, and here's something that I saw the other night when I was watching the national championship game, and I think this is what you're going to get with T-Rob and DVD and Ed Reed and that whole staff, at least from the secondary. That whole starting secondary unit of Alabama was South Florida players.
Yes, sir.
When I saw that, now Pat Surtain, I knew that because I remember that recruitment, because his pops, actually, the senior, his pops is from New Orleans.
Okay.
His pops, Patrick Surtain Sr., he was a quarterback at Edna Carr High School, led him to a state championship in '93.
And don't forget about Job. Job was too, because he was a target for us like a year ago before he actually, well, what it was 2 years ago before he actually chose Alabama. So Job was too. He's from South Florida too.
Right. So I was just astonished because I knew about Patrick Surtain, but I had no idea that the starting secondary was all South Florida. When I saw that graphic, I was like, no wonder. Well, that's why they're doing everything. And I think with acquiring T-Rob, you're going to now get those premier players. You got a better shot. You already got a strong bid with Ed Reed and with DVD, because DVD did a bang-up job too. He did a dynamite job as well. T-Rob just enforces it, in my opinion, and I love it. And, I mean, he's going to coach them up and bring them in, and you got to love that. And speaking of DVD, with him being given the cornerback coaching role, I've seen a lot of people having issues with that because they feel like T-Rob is only coming in as they don't understand he's the secondaries coach. They're thinking with DVD getting the cornerback coaching role that T-Rob is just the safeties coach. And some people had to, they just feel like you're getting overpaid to be the safeties coach. But here's the kicker, and I kind of alluded to it, that hopefully this would have been the scenario, and thankfully this is how I think it's going to play out. DVD is going to cut his teeth as a coach under T-Rob. T-Rob is going to groom DVD. T-Rob is going to run that whole secondary unit. Make no mistake about it. DVD is going to learn and just get his experience as a coach, as a cornerbacks coach. And it's a win-win because you got the benefit of great recruiting. You got the benefit of great coaching. And the benefit of DVD learning under T-Rob's tutelage. So I love the T-Rob hire. I home run play for Manny. Home run in that regard.
Yeah.
Next great hire, once again, Jess Simpson. And 2 weeks ago, I was like I told you, great. Like, look, he ain't got nothing going on. We need to bring him back. When I saw that, I'm like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. Because you had, when he was here before, you had Gerald Willis break out and do his thing. Joe Jackson, Jonathan Garvin. Now you bring him back, and you got just, like I said, you got the transfer, DeAndre Johnson from Tennessee. He's going to be a force.
Mm-hmm.
You got Nestor, who just announced he was coming back, and I love that because I thought Nestor played very well this season, but he did it in the shadows of Roche and Phillips. Roche and Phillips got most of the attention from the D-line perspective, but Nestor was very solid in that middle. I love that. Also, Jonathan Ford, he announced he was coming back. That's depth. So Jafari Harvey's going to be up and coming as well. And then you still got Leonard Taylor coming in, Chance Williams, the young dog, coming in. And you get Jess Simpson to mold all of that. And I think what you have up on the line is they're going to get a very good pass rush on opposing quarterbacks, and they're going to really be able to plug up holes. I don't think you're going to see us get ran on as much. I love that hire. I love the hires of Jess Simpson and T-Rob and how he did what he did with circulating DVD. I love that. Now, let's get to the elephant in the room, what we all are aggravated as hell about. What I don't love is the fact that Blake Baker is still the defensive coordinator. He still has that title.
Right.
I don't care if Manny's calling the plays. That to me means nothing because you can call the plays all you want. You kept Blake Baker as a defensive coordinator. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you dropped the ball because there were other coordinators out there that you could have hired. You could have given T-Rob the coordinator role because he wanted it. You did not do it.
There you go.
You have an allegiance to Blake Baker
Mm-hmm.
that right now is superseding the betterment of this defense
Yep.
and the direction.
Yep.
Now, I've seen some conspiracy theories that and hey, it may be true, who knows, that Blake Baker is in the third year of a contract.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to fire him because of the buyout. Well, let's go ahead on and let me put my 2 cents in with that. I don't buy that.
Me neither.
Because at the end of the day, I don't think the buyout in the final year of a contract, if you fire a coach, just like I hate to keep using LSU, but that's the best example I can do because I'm so much on what's happening down here. LSU fired Bo Pelini. Bo Pelini had like a $4 million contract. They still owe Bo Pelini, I think, $2 or $3 million. I don't know how much the exact dollar amount, but they fired him after 1 year. He had a big contract. He didn't finish his actual contract. He gets fired, so they got to pay him. I don't know the exact terms of Blake Baker's contract, but I'm more than certain the amount in that final season that would have to be paid out is nowhere near millions.
Right.
You can pay that. And the bottom line is you should have just went ahead and cut your losses got rid of him. Now, if you didn't want to hire a defensive coordinator after having done that and you wanted to run the defense, cool.
Right.
Do that. And I think that's what ultimately is going to get Manny done in. If Manny would have cut Blake Baker, I don't think anybody could really have a gripe about Manny, because in 2 years, Manny overhauled the offense, and then he turned around and overhauled the defense with the exception of keeping Blake Baker. That is my problem.
What you got to say on that, E, before I go?
You know, like I said before, I told you Blake wasn't going anywhere. And then, you know, when when Banda and company left, I said that was the perfect scapegoat for, you know, Manning to be like, well, I'm keeping my boy, I'm keeping my buddy. You know, I knew that was going to happen. But I'm taking the wait and see approach. It is what it is. Blake is there. Blake is going to be there. Manny say he's calling the plays. And, you know, I'm with you on it that you know, kind of frustrated by the non-movement of Blake Baker, but it's one of them things that we're going to have to deal with. Hopefully the new additions of Simpson coming back with the D-line and, you know, with DVD, you know, doing his thing with the corners and your boy T-Rob, you know, maybe we moving in the right direction. Who knows?
Oh, we're definitely moving in the right direction. I totally agree with you, but I'm with Larry Frank when he say, you know, there's no way that his buy is over $1 million. He ain't getting Brett Venables money out in Clemson. I think he's the highest paid defensive coach in the nation. He's not getting that type of money. And again, man, you let Dan Enos go after 1 year, and I'm sure the salary is probably matched. But I'm just not buying, like he say, man. We're talking about it was too much to buy him out. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Right. And here's the thing that kind of scares me moving forward, because this defense is going to be vastly better because you got better coaching, better position coaches with Jess Simpson, with T-Rob, with a better, and with Manny calling the defense. If the defense executes better, and guess what? When it's time to re-up next year, are they going to retain Blake Baker? If that defense is good, then that would give him, it's a 50-50 shot. If that's his boy, he's going to go ahead and just give him the DC job, re-up the DC job, give him a new contract, and he's not even doing nothing to earn it.
Right.
That's what bothers me. Mm-hmm. Now, on the flip side, where it can also be good, let's say everything goes to plan. Defense finishes as a top 15, top 20 unit. We go 10-2, 9-3 at worst. Hey, 11-1. Who knows? Might drop Bama and run the table. Who knows? Let's say we dominate on defense. The contract is up, and Manny says, you know what? I want to cut ties with you. I'm going to promote T-Rob. I want to hold out hope that maybe that's a possibility. But at this point, we just don't know. So all we can do from just that perspective is just sit back. We know that our D-line is going to be better. We know that our secondary is going to be better coached. The execution is going to be better. I'm worried about linebacker. Because that's not the greatest position right now. I'm with you. I thought Brooks was going to step his game up, and you know, I'm hoping Corey Flagg maybe can start making some contributions. But either which way, the defensive unit is going to be better.
What's up with Huff, man? What's up with Huff, Larry Frank? What you hearing on Avery Huff?
I thought he was the next big thing. I thought he was supposed to be the next big thing. He was supposed to be, you know, the next one to kind of rise,
right?
You know, from the shadows and maybe establish himself. And you know, maybe he's a late bloomer. I mean, but so far, nothing. And my thing is, if you had at least some presence of strength in that linebacking core to go along with, I think, the potential you're going to see up front and in the secondary with all of this upgraded coaching, and with Manny calling defense and all of that, I ain't going to say I wouldn't be worried, but I wouldn't be as worried as I was coming into this past season. So at the end of the day, I think we're moving in the right direction. I'm keeping my eye on Tyreek Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see, because if we can get him And I think we will. All signs are pointing that he's going to transfer to Miami. We get him. That is a big, physical, SEC experienced cornerback that will have one side locked down from day one. And if T-Rob goes ahead,
What's that, E?
What school is he from, Larry Frank?
Georgia.
He went to Georgia.
I thought that was
He's in the transfer portal. Yeah, he's in the transfer portal leaving Georgia. And the thing about it, T-Rob's philosophy is physicality and bump and run, and you know, and if you can get him to do that, get him in, and you start getting this going, you're not gonna have all of these wide receivers beating our guys. You're gonna have a lot of physicality, and you're gonna be able to shut down a lot of passing games. So I think he's coming. I think he's gonna, you know, I think it's gonna happen. All signs point to it. I thought he would have announced by now, but I guess we're gonna have to play the waiting game. But you know, potentially you're looking at him if he comes on one side, and between Takori Couch and I think Blades challenging for the other side. And honestly, I would go with Takori Couch.
Let me ask you this though: if that was the case, who would you rather see on the outside, Couch or Blaze? Man, you would rather see Blaze in the slot, but I feel like Couch can play in the inside or the outside. But which one would you rather see on the outside, him or Couch?
At this point, given what I've seen, I would go with Couch because Couch, to me, was a little bit more consistent over the season when he got in, when he played. Now, Blade's got the talent, and we know he's got the pedigree. He's got the bloodline. I think with T-Rob coaching him, I think Blades will become what I really believe he is destined to be. And look, we all want to see Blades succeed. Obviously, come on, man. We love his pops. We love his family. His uncle.
Yeah.
I know that's why I want
Miami.
To see
Yeah.
him, you know?
That's his cane. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That he is to Miami what the Mannings are to New Orleans.
That's right. Yeah.
That's the first, in my opinion. If
That's
I had
pedigree.
to say, I would think that's the first family. That's the first football family of Miami. If I had to say so.
That's pedigree. Yeah.
So, you know, that secondary rotation with those guys, and then you bring in Bolden, and you got Avante Williams coming back. He's talented. And you got James Williams who's going to be coming in. He's talented.
Cam Kitchens.
Kitchens coming in there, and Gerben Hall coached up. You actually go from having a unit that was kind of just doubting and questionable to now with good coaching, you got a solid unit. And my thing is, what I like, going back to Tyreek Stevenson, he was a monster on corner blitzes. So if you dial up some corner blitzes, if you get your blitzing packages together, get your blitzing better, and you dial up some corner blitzes, this guy is a monster. He has the potential, especially with T-Rob coaching him, the potential to be something serious. And I'm going to tell you this, in that first game coming up against Alabama was losing pretty much their whole offense. Quarterback's gone.
But you know they got reinforcements behind reinforcements, though, Larry Frank.
They do, but I'm going to say this much. They do have reinforcements, but you got all 5 starting linemen gone. They got to basically start a whole new team. And plus a new offensive coordinator. So I'm not saying that Miami has an advantage here, but I do think it levels the odds in Miami's favor a little bit more. And at the end of the day, if you can get that defense locked down and Manny can coach that defense up like he did 2017, and I think he will, because he has more playmakers, I think, now than he did in 2017.
For real? Now, I don't agree with you on that, Larry Frank. I don't agree with you on that, Larry Frank. I mean, we talking about. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
From a secondary aspect, I think he's got more athletes. I think he's got guys that can be. Well, let me rephrase that. At this point, they're not more playmakers. They got the potential to be better playmakers than what you had.
Okay.
I worded it wrong. I worded it right. Came out wrong.
Okay.
Because what you have is Red Wine was solid.
Man,
Jaquan
Red Wine was solid.
my mouth, dog. And Red Wine balling at the next level right now, man.
Jaquan Johnson too.
Yeah, Jaquan Johnson was solid. Michael Jackson was solid.
Gerald Willis on the D line.
All solid. All solid. All solid. Those guys did what they had to do. And like I say, for what you have right now, they're not proven.
Right.
But I think they have talent, and if you can maximize that talent and coach them up, I really believe that they can outdo what that 2017 grouping of guys did. But they got to be coached up, and that's the first thing. They got to be coached up.
Question for you and E. Starting safeties against Alabama, first game of the season. 2 starting safeties. Who you got?
Oh, Bubba Bolden for one. You know that.
Who's your other one?
Probably Bubba Bolden and probably Carter.
Larry Frank?
I would, Bubba. I agree with Bubba, but I think Kinchins. I say, you know what, go with Kinchins. I think Carter. I think Carter. You could actually give him a shot at linebacker.
That's what we've been saying.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier.
Give him a shot at linebacker because the reason why I say that he's physical. He's physical, and he's the type, the physicality he brings. He's going to keep on getting called for targeting plays, and it's like the way he plays. You don't want to dial down his approach.
Yep.
No.
So if you keep him in that secondary and he can't be who he is trying to be, then guess what? You're going to do him a disservice, and you're going to do the secondary a disservice because he's going to hold back. So at the end of the day, you know what? Hey, put him in linebacker. Try him. Put him in linebacker. You know, he's physical. He's got speed. He ain't the fastest guy, but guess what? As a linebacker, you don't have to be the fastest guy.
Right.
You just play your spot, be ready to get in that gap, running back coming through that A gap, wherever they put him at, and let him go head on. And then, you play the wood, guess what? They ain't going to call targeting on you now.
Yep.
Or they ain't going to call it as much.
Right. I asked you greatest earlier before you came on. I'm going to ask you, 4-3 or 4-2-5? Which one?
I would say go with the 4-2-5 because the offenses you play are spread out. And with the 4-2-5, you can cover them better. You can just cover better with a 4-2-5. 4-3, you got to have a good stable of linebackers. And when Manny was running that base 4-3 a few years ago, you had linebackers. You know, you had Shaq and Pinckney and
McLeod when he was healthy. I mean, he had his best year when he was a freshman.
Right. So if you have the linebackers, you can run a 4-3 because you need linebackers with speed, especially on the outside. You don't have speedy guys. You don't even really, and no disrespect to who you got at the linebacking core, but you just don't have proven linebackers. Right?
You don't, and you don't have speed at linebacker.
You don't. So I think stick with the 4-2-5, and you know, like I say, put Carter at linebacker. Can't hurt, you know. The thing is that really you're going to have to look at with Manny is when Manny takes over the play calling, is he going to dial up the blitz? Because you could tell that when Manny took over games the last couple of years, you can tell when Manny put his finger on certain things because you saw more blitz packages. Like, I don't know what it is. Blake Baker, for some strange reason,
don't like the blitz.
No blitz whatsoever. You playing your cornerbacks, you playing everybody 7, 9, 10 yards or whatever off the ball. You're giving a cushion, and the thing about it is, all you got to do is just, you know, throw a little, a pass or whatever, and guess what? Automatic 4 or 5 yards on first down in some situations. You giving the defense, you're giving the opposing offense, you're giving them yards.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is something, kind of to go hand in hand with that. Did you give them yards or, play off the ball because you knew or you doubted that they were being coached up from your position coaches? Who knows?
Right.
But now that you have, some real capable guys, improving guys at the position coaches, and Manny calling the defense, and Blake's just going to be eating popcorn on the sidelines watching and taking credit for it.
Getting paid, getting a free check, E.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he's getting a free check just and holding the title as opposed to getting a free check and sitting at the house. And the sad part was they basically was throwing shade at him, talking about, I think it would be in your best interest to look for another job. Well, what's all this about?
Right. Smoke screen.
And that's what that's what leads me to believe that something is Manny playing both sides of the fence. Did he intend to fire Blake Baker and hire T-Rob and give him that position and then maybe have a change of heart? Did he maybe tell him that to say, all right, well, you know what, because if he quits, you ain't got to pay him no buyout.
True.
Man, he knew off the rip he wasn't firing. He knew that.
I agree with you, E.
And that was the scapegoat. Like I said, when Banda and company left, it was like, okay. I always say, like I told you, D, maybe it was Banda.
Right.
I
got one for you, Larry Frank, real quick, not to cut you off. Hey, shout out to Jay Blaze. What's up, Jay Blaze? Question. E. Gray answered it earlier. We was talking about is Charleston Rambo an upgrade at wide receiver?
Immediate upgrade.
Yeah. Same thing I said.
This guy. Let me tell you something. I don't even have to think. I don't even have to ponder. I don't have to even wonder. This guy is going to pay straight up immediate dividends. Let me tell you something. With him and Mike Harley coming back, to me, in my opinion, that gives me the best 1-2 combination at wide receiver since Coley and Amon Richards back in 16 or whatever.
Yes.
Hey, but what about my boy?
What's his name? What's his name,
Devin?
Keyshawn Smith?
Yeah.
What you think about Keyshawn Smith?
Put him in the slot.
Where you going to move Harley, on the outside?
I would put him in the slot. The reason why I would put him in the slot, because you remember when you had Barrios?
Yeah.
Braxton was in the slot, and Braxton wasn't fast. Braxton was just
smart. Sure-handed, smart, knew how to read the zone, knew how to get to the soft spots in the zone.
Everything. And I'm gonna tell you something. Keyshawn, to me, if you listen, you could go with Reddick. You got options there. Just don't go with 6 and 8. Please don't go with 6 and 8.
Definitely not 8. Definitely not 8.
And I told you.
And look,
I'm not speaking their name, dog. I'm not speaking their name because I don't respect them. When I don't respect you, I'm just like Bill Parcells back in the day when he lost respect for T.O. and he called him the player. I don't respect them, so I ain't speaking his name.
Right.
So
right.
It's 6 and 8, and I'm gonna tell you something. I'm hoping Rambo pushes one of them to go to the portal.
I know.
I really do. I hope he does. But Keyshawn, to me, I think is going to be.
I like Keyshawn, man.
One of your man. Look, let me tell you something. Like I said, the bowl game was the first time I really seen him play. I hadn't seen him really get in and do nothing, until that point. And the first time you get in, you blow right past the DB, and if you get a toe down, that's a touchdown. You did better on a pass that was out of bounds than them other two fools did the whole night.
Yep.
And I hope they realize it. I hope they realize that the pressure's on. What I like about Rambo, getting back to Rambo, what I like about him, he's a physical wide receiver. Like, he's gonna get up in your face. He's gonna he has elements of a Hines Ward. Elements. Now, I'm not saying he is Hines Ward. He has elements of a Hines Ward. He's gritty. He's grimy. He'll block you. He'll give you some contact. He ain't one of these diva receivers. He ain't scared to put his work boots on and go at it. And that's what I love about him. He's got some good hands. He's fast. He, like I said, I don't know really what the deal is. I didn't look at too much of everything that he did over his career at Oklahoma. I know he had like over 1,000 yards receiving in his 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to think that, it's kind of wide receiver by committee up there. They just so high power, they're passing to everybody. So I got to believe that it's just, okay, he wasn't in one of these offenses where he was a focal point or a focal guy.
Right.
So, listen, 9 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards receiving in 3 seasons. I read where he had like a 7-game stretch where I think he had like 600-700 yards receiving and like 6 touchdowns or something like that. So he's definitely, an upgrade over these other 2 bums that we got. And like I said, day one start. I love it. I love it. So, coming in, you got him and Harley. And like I said, go with Keyshawn. Now, and I'm going to say Redding. I'm going to say those need to be your 4 starters right there. But once again, still have that open competition. You got to have it. But definitely, I'm loving it. I
got one more for you before I let you get out of here. I got one more for you. Me and E talked about this last night, and that is the offensive line. Who's going to step up at right tackle, bro? I mean, do you see Jalen Rivers or one of these new guys, McLaughlin, with DJ Scaife make the next step? Like me and E was talking about, this is going to be their 3rd year playing together, E? We was talking about? Yeah. I think most of these guys are going to be there. Right. Okay.
This is the 3rd year. Yeah.
I mean,
second year in this be the 2nd year in that particular scheme. Right.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to a couple of shows ago when we were talking about who we thought the impact players would be from the signing class.
Mm-hmm.
And from a lineman standpoint, and like I said, and I go back, I really believe McLaughlin was going to come in and probably have the biggest impact period of the signees. So I'm going to go ahead on and double down on that, and I'm going to roll with McLaughlin because I just feel like he's got the size. He's what Miami needed. He's a big body, big tall, big massive dude. He's got all of the the fundamental characteristics that you want that we've been lacking. Coming out of high school at least.
Mm-hmm.
These other guys that have been coming out, they just have it. It's like they were undersized and really not coached up prior to Garin Justice. I believe McLaughlin coming in with Garin Justice he's gonna feast. Now, Scaife, I think, is gonna, do well again because he's got that experience.
He just got a lot of bad technique, man, with his footwork, man. His footwork terrible, man. Sometimes he get beat a lot out of all of those guys that's on the line right now. I think he's like, and I mean, he plays good sometimes, but I just think that he's the one that needs a little bit more development, and he play right guard,
And I think with a full spring, I think you get that. Okay. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to having a full spring where you can literally have all your meetings and then you crank off spring practice and you have an actual spring game and then you have summer workouts and you have the whole regular just timeline of events leading up to fall camp going into that Alabama game. Like I said, he played better over the course of the season, but once again, he didn't have the, be able to work on his fundamentals going in. So I think with a full spring and you got the off season, everything, I really think, fans are going to be pleasantly surprised, not just from the O-line, but from this whole team. I think they're going to be surprised. Right now, everybody's sour because of Blake Baker being on staff. Let me tell you something. If he'd have got rid of Blake Baker, I would be just full of enthusiasm and optimism going into the next season. And I'm optimistic. I am optimistic because the ACC games, the conference games, I'm optimistic because the conference games, guess what? I do believe we're going to win the Coastal next year. Because if you don't have the ACC kissing Notre Dame's ass, we would have been in the ACC championship game this year. Now, we'd have got waxed by Clemson. But given just the way this team was just in disarray, especially on defense, we would have weathered all of that and still made the ACC title game. So I think conference-wise, we're going to be all right. Now, here's the kicker. Everybody talking about Alabama, and that's a given. This is what people are not realizing. You still got an Appalachian State team that can shock you in Michigan State. And I think Central Connecticut, that's your first four. You got to go at worst 3-1. You go 3-1 before you hit conference, it's going to be a good year. You go 2-2, 1-3, and there's a distinct possibility that if things don't go right, we could be 0-3. Because Mel Tucker at Michigan State, he's going to have a lot of teams surprised because I didn't think he was going to do, well. I thought he was going to flop, especially with a COVID year. Michigan State looks solid at times. So that they're going to be having a full spring just like everybody else. So I'm telling you, whatever happens after Alabama is going to be very important. So that's why I say I'm optimistic now. Next year, after all of this is done, because remember, next year is a contract year for Manny. See, and that's the thing. Manny ain't slick. Because every time, now that I think about it, I want to give him credit for taking over the defense, and then it just hit me when I said it. It's a contract year. So you think Manny's going to put his fate in Blake Baker?
Preach.
Of course not.
Preach.
Is Manny doing this for the betterment of the team or for the betterment of his own personal interest? And then at the end of the day, guess what? You don't want to get rid of your boy. You want to save your job. Let's kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to call it defense. Let's go 10-2. If we can, let's qualify for the ACC championship. And the last thing I want to touch on before I go, because I thought about this, I told myself I wanted to put this out here. And I always try to put it out and I forget, but it's on my mind, so I'm going to put it here. I want to know Blake James, the athletic director, where he stands as far as the culture of Miami.
Say that again. Say that again. Ask that question again.
I want to know Blake James, the athletic director of Miami. I want to know where he stands on the culture of Miami Hurricanes football. The reason why I'm saying this, the Miami Hurricanes that we know, because we're all about the same age, that we came up watching a group of Miami Hurricanes and a team and a university that took no prisoners. National championship or bust, year in and year out. I want to know if, because I go back to when Manny was hired, okay? You didn't even try to look at nobody else. You just went with Manny. So my thing is this. Is the goal here from the athletic director standpoint, is it, let's win 10 games a year, qualify for a bowl, win the bowl game, boom. It's all good because we're a private university. We're going to get our money anyway. So guess what? I guarantee you they wouldn't stand for mediocrity if the Orange Bowl still stood. You're playing in Hard Rock. What Hard Rock house is about 60, 65,000 max or whatever?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. If you still had the OB and nobody was going to the OB, guess what? You wouldn't have mediocrity. That's just my opinion. So is Blake James, knowing this, just going to say, well, you know what? We ain't going to fill up Hard Rock. It ain't no big deal or whatever. Let's just go ahead on and win 9, 10 games a year and win a bowl game. Has he inadvertently let the culture of Miami and the expectations of championships just fade? Because the fans ain't going to let that shit go. The fans ain't letting that go.
Right.
That's the problem. The fans ain't letting it go because us as fans, we've been to the mountaintop. It's going to be 20 years this year.
Yep.
20 years this year. And every last one of us is longing to get back. And when I see teams like Notre Dame get to the playoffs, and Oklahoma get to the playoff. And in 2013, when Florida State won the national championship, you seen Florida get back, and they're trying to, get themselves in position to get to the playoff. And we've seen them win a national championship with Tebow and all of that. You've seen Ohio State, all of these blue bloods, we are a blue blood.
Yep.
Why in the world are we not, why not us? It's us and USC right now. And I'm going to tell you something. If we don't do nothing and at least try to aim for better, USC will get back to that level before we do. We're the last two that's out. Well, us, USC, will 3, include Texas, because Texas is a 3rd. And that's why I'm saying, where's the culture as far as Blake James? What does he want? Who's going to hold his feet to the fire? Because guess what? You were the one that hired man.
Mm-hmm.
And you did it after 3 weeks with no coaching search. Dan Mullen, after Al Golden, Dan Mullen wanted to come here. Dan Mullen was open to coming here when he was at Mississippi State. Why didn't you follow up on that? You got guys like Gary Patterson. I'm not saying they should have hired him or nothing like that, but you had other high-profile coaches at other schools that you could have at least considered.
Right.
You didn't even reach out to none of them.
Nope.
So, and it worries me because if Manny does fail, you may have, like I told you, my dream would be to have Tom Herman go to Alabama and resurrect his coaching career like everybody else. Because Tom Herman prior to Texas was a damn good coach. And if that would have happened, that would be my dream hire after he would go to Alabama and resurrect his coaching career under Saban. But once again, he could do that and be sitting right there for the taking. And if Manny gets fired and he's there, you're not going to get him. You're going to get some. He'll probably go get Banda from Utah State to come back over here and be the head coach. So that's how I feel, fellas. That's how I look at it.
That's what's up, man. You got something, E?
Nah, that's it.
Hey, man. Hey, good take, man, Frank, man. Like always, brother, we appreciate you.
Hey, we
no
appreciate
doubt,
you,
man.
bro.
Well, hey, no doubt about it. Well, I appreciate being able to, just give my take, man. And like I say, man, as I said before, I always say it. Hey, bless and avoiding stress and go Canes. You know how we do.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up, man, Larry Frank, man. You enjoy your weekend, man. We'll be in touch, brother.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one, and Utah family, y'all have a good one as well. I'll holler.
All right, brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right.
Later.
It's you talk, baby. It's you talk, baby.
Great points, E. Blake James.
Always.
Blake
Always.
James. Blake James.
Yeah. Well, I never really cared too much for Blake James, but I'm just going to keep that there.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put that on.
I know you didn't. Yeah, I know. Let's get into some of these, some of the chat line, man. Let's talk to some of the people, man. You want to go ahead and get you one, and I get me one?
Yeah, I saw one earlier I wanted to address because, who is it? Mr. Jeffrey O'Neal, come to the front of the line. Jeffrey O'Neal loves to find a way to throw the Falcons in there somewhere. He talking about, I just hope the defense can play good against Alabama and not let us look like the Raiders and the Falcons in the kickoff play.
But
come on, Jeffrey O'Neal.
But Jeffrey had 10 wins and still didn't get to the playoffs, and he want to try to drag us, man.
Still sitting on the couch.
Him and Cuban Kane, and I still don't know where George Diaz is, man. Still ain't heard from George. George MIA. Shout out to brother Jay Blaze. It is a Kane thing, big dog. What's going on? What you say, Josh Ayers, man? Look at all the other sports at Miami in which coaches have crapped the bed. Basketball and baseball are right in line with football. I totally agree with you, Josh. I totally agree with you.
Man.
What's that, E?
It's the Blake James effect.
Yeah, man. It's like what do he want Miami to get back to? And like I say, man, I'm rooting for Manny. I hope that he can. I hope that he can turn it around. But he done lost me with this bringing Blake Baker back, bro. That's just me. He totally lost me with that, bro.
Y'all gonna have to get off. Y'all gonna have to. We just gonna have to let sleeping dogs lie and just have to see where it lands.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with you. It is what it is at this point. Most definitely. I totally agree with you, man. Josh Ayers said, "Yep, the Blake James effect." Who else did I miss up in here, man? Judge Juno, what's going on, big dog? I think it's hard to fire a staff after going 8-2 in a regular season. Here's my thing, man. 8-2 was Fugazis, though. Yeah, we went 8-2, but those games that we lost were just embarrassing. That's my whole thing. And the defense was terrible, Judge Juno. The defense was terrible. I mean, no matter how you're gonna look at it, man. I think our defense, man. We were 51st in scoring defense, total defense 67. The year before that, E grade, we were 23rd in scoring defense and total defense 13th. You go from that to what we were this year, it ain't no excuse. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just saying. That's terrible, E.
It just looked bad, man. You know, when we look bad, it looked bad. I mean, we said what we didn't want to see in the bowl game, and what did we see in the bowl game? The same shit.
The same. What we saw?
The same shit.
We're seeing the same, yeah. I totally agree. Why doesn't Miami get Dan Morgan to leave Buffalo and come coach the linebackers? Hell, I mean, right now, who is the linebacker coach? Jonathan Patek. I think he's the linebacker coach. I mean, bro, we got to find some linebackers. I still say that's a position of need. Linebackers, man, like who's going to take that next step? Like I say, I like the freshman coming in, but I was talking to one of my Facebook friends, and he made a good point, man. I like Troutman, man, Deshaun Troutman. I keep on talking about this young man coming from Edgewater down in Orlando, Florida, man. Shout out to Orlando. But like he was telling me, man, like just making that transition, coming to college, that's one of the hardest positions, man, to put on weight and come in and start as a freshman. And I know we've seen it before, E, when Pinckney, Quarterman, and McLeod came in and started their freshman year. We had a trio, you know. And you know, can he do it? I think he can, but I still think that he's a little undersized, and he's going to need to put some weight on. But I like Troutman. When you guys get a chance, go check out his film, man. Edgewater High over in Orlando, Florida, man. He's going to be a freshman this year, man. So he get in the strength and weight program. I'm telling you, he's going to be okay, man. But for right now, the guys that we have, E, I'm still waiting on Sam. I mean, I still got my faith in Sam. I want him to have a good spring, man, and come on in and get one of them linebacker spots.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We just need somebody's got to step up and be that alpha linebacker, bro. Somebody's got to step up and be that guy. And Bubba Bolden has to step up and be that guy in the secondary. We need alphas. We need leaders. We need dogs. Like I told you, I didn't see enough dogs on either side of the ball at times last year. And like we was talking about Rambo, that's, you know, transferring, that's coming from Oklahoma. We talked about the wide receivers. We ain't had no dogs to go get the ball. You know what I mean? Now I know we got one in Rambo, and hopefully the other ones follow suit. So I think we're going to be all right, man. We're going in the right direction, baby.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Running backs, man, I think those freshmen that were freshmen this year, I think they're going to be hell, man, next year, man. Chaney and Knight, man.
Chaney and Knight, but Chaney ready to eat. You know what I'm saying?
He said Chaney ready to go.
And Cam, you know, he looking for the money.
Yeah.
So, hey, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Yeah. Those guys are going to be, they're going to be okay next to the running back position, man. Like I told you, my big concern, man, is the offensive line, man. I just hope that these guys being in their third year, like Larry Frank was saying, gonna have a spring to be able to get everything together, man. These guys can come in together as a collective unit.
And that's why I say it's so big, because they're not learning a new system anymore. They're trying to perfect what they know, and you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It makes a difference. Mm-hmm. It makes a difference. So,
most definitely.
And this was a COVID year. It's crazy. They didn't have the number of practices they normally would have had. They didn't have a full spring. So, you know, hopefully we be in line, have a full spring, full summer, and be ready for Alabama on September the 4th. Labor Day weekend. In the A, baby.
Hey, bro. Hey, it's going. Well, hey, tell me this, man. What you thought about that national championship game? You know, I didn't know Devontae Smith, man. I didn't know he was that good, man. I mean, I knew he was good. And it just proved how good he was, because, I mean, Water had been hurt the whole year. You know what I'm saying? But that injury. But, man, he is the truth, man. I didn't know he was that good, man.
Hey, he played up his stock, man. You know, he going to get drafted quite early. But don't forget about Waddle, man. Waddle, you know what I'm saying?
He's going to be him next year, right? Well, this year. He'll be him this year, right?
Well, Waddle going to the league.
Also, he's going in this year?
Hell yeah.
What is he, a junior?
I think so. But Waddle, don't be surprised if Waddle gets taken before Devontae Smith.
Well, I know Waddle was the dude. I just thought that how many games did he miss this year?
He missed. He only played 2 games, and then he came back for the national championship. He wasn't all the way right.
Okay. Yeah. Question for you: are we ready for Alabama? Are we ready for Alabama? Are we ready for Alabama? E.
If we do the right thing, and keep going in the right direction, we will be ready for Alabama. But right now, we got to make it the spring. Yeah, make it a spring, get through summer, and we'll revisit this later on. We got plenty of time to talk about are we ready?
I know, bro. Ready?
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hey, bro, listen, bro. My thing is this, man. I'm with you. I hope that we can come in the spring, work hard. Again, De'Aaron King, I hope that he can come back healthy and be ready for the start of the season. That's the big key. We need our starting quarterback going into the first game.
I need De'Aaron King to be healthy, man. I really do. And you know what? And the thing about it, what I want to see in the spring and going into the summer is how they prepare and who takes the step and say, you know what, I'm that guy, whether it's TVD or whether it's Garcia. And from everything I'm hearing, TVD is that guy. I want to see TVD ready to be the starter. You know what I'm saying? And if King is healthy and ready to go, of course you put King in there. But I want TVD to be ready and be like, you know what, this is my job. I'm the starter. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that puts us in a better position where we got to roll with TVD. We roll with them and we good.
Right. I see the offense getting better, man. I mean, I see a ceiling I don't think we reached our ceiling yet for the offense, man. We just got to get some receivers that can come in and catch the damn ball. That's all.
Catch the damn ball. That's it, baby.
You know, I think offense, man, is, the sky's the limit with those guys. Offensive line, if they come in, man, prepare, man, work hard, man. Again, I'm a little concerned that right guard, Larry Frank said McLaughlin. I'm going to say either Isaiah Walker or Jalen Rivers, man. See what these guys going to do. They were true freshmen last year, man. Let's see what they'll do this year. So, offensive line, be ready, man. Third year together, man. It's like E say, man, in the same offense for the second year, man. I think we're gonna be better in this offense with Rhett, man. I think we will.
Yep, absolutely.
So hey, man, listen, man, you got anything else tonight, brother? You want to say anything else?
That's it, man. You know, I'm ready for playoff football this weekend, and check out the show tomorrow. I'm dropping an episode on hashtag Just Saying Sports YouTube, baby. Hashtag Just Saying Sports. It's been a while. We are been having some technical difficulties trying to revamp some stuff, but show is coming out tomorrow. Wild thoughts for the wild card weekend. Give them my picks for wild card weekend tomorrow before noon. Sometime that show would be out. So if you haven't, go to that channel. Hashtag Just Saying. No G at the end. Hashtag Just Saying Sports. Hit that subscribe button. Check out the videos. They're a little old from earlier during the season, but a fresh one will be out tomorrow. Make sure you watch it, subscribe, like, and all that stuff.
That's what's up, man. Check his show out, man. Check my boy out, man. Just Saying Sports, man. Check him out over there, man. He got good takes, man. That's E-Gray, man. And I ask that you guys continue to support the show. I appreciate all of you guys. Like I said before, thank you for the merchandise that you buy, man, from the website, man. I'm going to flash it up again, man. Whatever you guys are, if you missed the show, if you want to go over and listen to the podcast, the audio will be up over on the website, man, immediately following the show, man. So, again, we appreciate all the support, man. Thank you guys for supporting my show, man, since day one. I really appreciate all of you guys. So I ask that you subscribe, like, and comment on the show. I try to do it, like I say, since we're off maybe every 2 weeks. Unless, man, there's some topics, man, that comes out, man, during the week, man, and we just can't wait. You know, I always put out something on Facebook to let you know when I'll be doing another show. And I'm doing some things with the channel right now to be able to update the stuff on YouTube so that you will know whenever we're coming out as well. So that'll be done next week whenever I set my shows for YouTube. I have that finished next week. So again, thank you guys, man, for the commentary, man. Always tuning into You Talk, man. I hope you enjoy your weekend, man. You guys stay safe. And y'all know how we start every show. And y'all know how we end every show. It ain't no us. Without you, baby.
I already know.
And we out. Safe weekend to everybody, man.
It's you
Y'all
talk.
take